Hello, my name is Trevor Pfahl. I've been an ESL teacher since 1998, so about 25 years at the time of this video. And I've taught a lot of academic English as well as business English and then English for settlement purposes, so adjusting to life in Canada. So a lot of times I get some questions and people, my students or newcomers say, I'm not understanding when people are speaking to me on the phone or in the stores, the different accents, or when I'm speaking, I'm ordering some coffee, or if I'm at a restaurant, I'm in the store, people are not understanding what I'm saying. And so I'm going to give you some advice about improving your pronunciation. And I did include a little section of this in a listening video, so if you haven't seen that, you may also want to check that out. But let's talk about how to improve your pronunciation. So I usually see that for many people there's a bit of a difficulty with understanding the rhythm and intonation. So in Spanish, in Italian, and other languages, there's a pattern, and there's a section where we're da-da, da-da, da, da-da. And so in English as well, with words, phrases, and sentences, we have certain places where we emphasize information. And so when I'm saying these sentences, if I say them without the correct stress, people may or usually still understand us, but they may not be clear, or it takes them, their brain has to adjust to our rhythm. So for example, I could say, there is a spider in the bathroom. Very robotic, very expressionless. Or I could say, there is a spider in the bathroom. That's okay, I understand the words, but oh, there's a spider in the bathroom. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. Are you busy today? Are you busy today? Are you busy? Are you busy today? Okay, so if we have the similar rhythm to how English is spoken around us, then we will be able to fit in and understand more easily, as well as people will understand us. So working on your rhythm and intonation is one area that I recommend. Understanding contractions. So we often move together words. So I'll go to the store tomorrow, and you're like, I'll, island, or I'll, what, you know, but they're meaning I will, or should have. I should have taken the other road, or I should have brought more clothing. I should have. So I should have, or I'd do this, or I'd go to the store once I get, you know, I'd. What's an I'd? But I would from that. Then for many people, and this is where a lot of teachers, and maybe if you've studied English, start with, they focus on individual sounds. For me personally, in classes, I focus on rhythm and intonation first to get that overall pattern and understanding. Then I identify what sounds are the students struggling with. And so a lot of times the TH, Thursday, that, this. So there's a couple of, there's voiced and unvoiced with the TH sound, but just that combination can be difficult. R's, L's, okay, I'd like some rice, I'd like some lice. Actually, I'll tell you a little short. So my name is Trevor, but sometimes students will mispronounce my name and call me Travel because of that RL difficulty. V's, W's, Z's, these are all sounds, and then vowels, A, I, O, U, E. So there's different areas that we can work on with vowels. And then ED endings. So, for example, when I say watch, when I say call, when I say need. Okay, so if I add an ED ending, watched, t, called, d, called, or need, needed. And so there's a pattern of, at the ending of the word, does that make it a T sound when I add the ED? So watched, so with a CH, then an ED. With called, and if you have a word with an L, then it has a D sound. Or needed, when it ends with a D or a T, then it has an id sound. And that's where sometimes people say, I washed it, I watched it. And they're adding the ED sound from here, but they should be saying a T sound. And then number endings. So sometimes with teens, 13, 14, 15, or 30, 40, 50, there's not much difference between those sounds. The main difference is there's a little bit more emphasis with this section, so pronouncing it for a little beat longer. Teen, 13, 14, rather than 30, 40. So there it's a sharp cut, but the teen, so if people are misunderstanding you when you're saying the teens, then just add that extra little strength, even if it sounds a little bit off or awkward, but oh, this is 13. Just draw it out a little bit longer, and that'll help with people understanding your numbers. So let me just pull up, so people say, well, what resources can I use? So I've gathered together some, so there's a couple of videos on this page where you can listen to common errors that people from many different cultures and first languages make. Then within the Confident Voice blog, they have multiple sections talking about different areas. So consonants, vowels, reduced speech, where I talked about the contractions and pulling words together, the intonation. Okay, there's also websites with pronunciation. There's a website called Speak Method, and there they identify what are some of the common mistakes that people that speak their first language is Arabic or Japanese, Vietnamese, Chinese, etc. What are common errors that they make when they're trying to speak in English? And then Magoose from TOEFL, okay, yeah, that's more within the Chinese. And then there's this paragraph where this has many of the sounds that we use in English. So I often have students read through this paragraph, I listen for certain sounds, and this is where you can diagnose or identify what might be some sounds that you have difficulty with. Like with her, some people say har, or thick, sick, sick, so more of an S, okay, or cheese, chuz, so E, not the Another resource which I don't have pulled up here, but is called American Accent Training. I'll include it in the link below, a link to their website and more information. But in there, they have the pages 28 to 30. They talk about the syllable stress in words and phrases, and then throughout their material, they have more resources where they're identifying these different areas of difficulty that students have with contractions, reduced speech, intonation, vowels, consonants, etc. So those are the tips that I would have for you for pronunciation. This doesn't take a long time. When I studied Indonesian, I lived there for 5 years initially. I had difficulty with certain sounds, N, Y, N, G, and then the R sound. But I would practice 5 minutes, 7 minutes, 10 minutes a day over several weeks, and then I found that I would be able to listen and identify it more easily, as well as to speak it more easily. I'll just throw in here, more for your entertainment than mine, but for example with the R sound, I grew up in speaking English. My grandparents are from Germany, and so when I was pronouncing words, I'm often saying them in the back of my jaw. But with the R sound in Indonesian, Spanish, and other languages, the R is at the tip of your tongue. So I would be saying R, 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 and I still can't say it well, but I did improve while I was living there. But at the tip of your tongue, rabbit, rabbit, run. And so I had to consciously be practicing over several weeks of moving the sound of the R from my back of my throat to the tip of my tongue. So that's one example for myself. The nya, nya, nya sound, which is not common in English, but that was a sound that was in a lot of Indonesian words. So again, practice short drills with words and sentences using those sounds can help you overcome some of that. So thank you for joining this video. I have also other tips and tricks for reading, understanding and improving your reading, writing, speaking, and listening, of course, vocabulary. So these are the common errors, these are the common areas where we often need help in understanding and look at what are the faster strategies to improve in these areas. Have a great day, and we'll see you in the next video.